Now that I'm back on eBay, I wanted to create a video once I reached the $1,000 mark. Once I made $1,000, I wanted to come on and kind of talk about for me, because what I'm doing is I'm researching for myself. I'm trying to figure out where to put my time, what's going to benefit me, what kind of products I should put on eBay. And yeah, I just want to focus on something different. I want to write some ebooks and things later on in 2021. But this is also helping me to figure out what platforms I want to sell on, where I want to put my time. So I challenged myself once I started selling on eBay again. And I released a video 3 weeks ago. I'll put it up here if I can get my editing stuff to work out. You'll see that bar go across. If not, it is called I'm Back on eBay. And it is a few weeks ago. I have on a cute Fell Forward into Success pink shirt on the front with a big eBay on the thumbnail, so you'll see that. But hopefully I can get something up there. But I just wanted to challenge myself to see, what I needed to do to reach $1,000. And now that I've reached over $1,000, what can I do going forward to reach $1,000 or more a month? It took me 44 days to reach $1,000, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So I am old school. I will have my little piece of paper that I'm reading from. And I want to let you know that even though I make these videos for me, they're more for you, so you can have an understanding of how regular people, I'm a regular person, makes decisions. I left eBay for a while and I just came back. And I tell you, honestly, the only reason that I came back is because I'm able to use my cross-listing app, cross-listing platform, which happens to be List Perfectly. And I'll leave the link below. That is the only reason why. If I had to create a listing right into eBay, or if I had to do all the work automatically myself, I wouldn't be doing it. So I took the chance. I paid for a business plan, and I believe it's $49 a month. Well worth it, because not only am I cross-listing on eBay, but I'm cross-listing across the board. I have all my stores, which is Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, and I also have a Shopify store that I cross-list t-shirts from, and I'm going to talk about that actually in a minute. So now that I'm back on eBay, I started using List Perfectly to cross-list. Only reason, I just said that, right? So what I do is I started in the beginning in November 4th. That's when I started. That's actually when I made my first sale. I think the first week of November, probably the last week of October, I started listing. And on eBay, there's kind of like, I don't know if it's a system where you have to list about 50 or something to see some momentum. Everyone has a different story. Someone may only list 2 things and then they get a sales because that item could be in demand, or someone could list 10 things, or it may take somebody 50. So I challenged myself that I said, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play around and casually cross list 100 items, but I wasn't putting like low end items. I had heard a couple people say, oh, my vintage has been selling. And I'm like, duh, I have a vintage store in Etsy. Let me start putting some stuff over there. I said, oh, handbag sale, duh. Let me start cross-listing some handbags from Poshmark. So that's what I was doing. I was already selling games and toys and electronics from Mercari, right? I've been saying it a lot, not rocket science. So I took those items from Mercari and started cross-listing. Then I have a store on Shopify called Graphic Necessity. I'm going to be closing it for a while because I don't want to pay the fees, but I still can hold on to it because I have a domain. So I created all these tie-dye and bleached, but they're Graphic Necessity. They have band tees and movie star tees. So I started cross-listing that stuff over right away. As soon as I cross-listed a Queen t-shirt, it sold, a bleached Queen t-shirt. And I also recently, if you see tomorrow, or whenever I release that video, what sold, my friend gave me a huge box she sent me, didn't charge me or anything. She's like, I'm sending you some stuff, all these white items that I tie-dye. And it was a Madewell top that I sold, that I tie-dyed. So cross-listing has been a game changer for me on eBay. So what I've been doing is cross-listing over anything that I think could make me really good money. And they're not like lower end items. I do accept offers, so that kind of helps out a lot. But I'm being particular, kind of doing an experiment, because I don't want to just throw stuff on eBay, because I want to be able to make some money. So the first key was, once I hit about 50 items that I listed, that's when the momentum started. So my first sale came in November 4th. As of today, that was 44 days ago. So from November 4th to today, December 27th, I've made 32 sales, and my total is $1,049.46. That's an average of $33 per item. You know, if you do the math, all the math people, that to me is incredible. So I'm here just talking about it because it's a simple type of thing for me. You're probably like, what is she rambling on about? I took a lot of thought to decide to come back to eBay. And again, if it wasn't for List Perfectly and the ability to cross list, this is not an advertisement. I am an affiliate for List Perfectly. There is a link. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is there are simple ways to cross list, because I was always cross listing. I was always relisting. That I was doing that before I even knew of List Perfectly or Vendoo or any other cross listing platform. And so what I'm doing is I'm testing myself to see if it's worthwhile. And it has been worthwhile for me. I don't have a VA, I don't have a share for Poshmark, but this particular platform with its Chrome extension has been such a game changer for me. And the other thing I want to say is that I wrote it down, so I was trying to think, Okay, so what I wanted to say is a lot of people start with eBay. Now, if you have an item that is brand new and you want to get started, and eBay is the way to do it for you, do it. Especially if you've been selling on eBay and you're like, oh, I'd rather cross lists from eBay to another platform. This is what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that everything that I've been listing on eBay to date has been cross-listed from my other platforms. I have not added fresh items to eBay. I have cross-listed. So what I do is I go through Poshmark. I started off with Poshmark first. And I started just kind of cross-listing bags and shoes, just normal everyday things. My husband used to be a seller on eBay. He gave it up about a year ago, and he sold all men's clothes. And I've been holding on to some men's items that weren't moving. So I was like, you know what? Let me cross-list those from Poshmark to eBay. Then I started hearing about people selling successful with vintage. So I went into my Etsy store and I started cross-listing to eBay. I went into my Mercari store. I said this earlier. And I was like, oh, let me look at all the games and electronics. Let me take those and cross-list them over. And that's where I've seen success. Now, I have found it to be beneficial to cross-list and then take my time filling in everything. eBay has their reason that you have to fill in all the information. Is a little blue circle that indicates like how many people you're going to reach if you put in all the items. My goal is to get that blue circle to fill in, to blink and totally fill in. There's going to still be a ton of things that eBay's asking you for, but my goal every time is once I cross-list it from another platform, once everything drops, now let me go in and fill in the remaining items. And that blue circle fills in, I'm like, awesome. And if it doesn't fill in, I'm like, okay, let me go back. Even if I had to put NA that is not applicable to this particular item, it's going to say, okay, you've put something in. I just made a sale. Awesome video on eBay. As I'm making an eBay video on my phone, I just got a notification that an item just sold. How cool is that? So, So my goal is to fill in that blue circle, right? And then make sure everything is filled, I put in all the information. That's the cool thing. Poshmark has the least amount of information it drops in. But if you've ever sold on Etsy, Etsy asks for really almost as much information as eBay does. And Mercari, not as much, but enough that if you cross list from Mercari, you've practically filled in. Poshmark is the one that asks for the least amount of information. So you're going to have to put in more for eBay, but it has been totally beneficial for me to do that. Okay, so hopefully you've understood my ramble, but I just wanted to do this video. So let me put this in perspective for you. I started cross-listing. I started with List Perfectly in September. I was like, in my head, I gave them a month. Let me see what I can do. I wasn't even thinking about eBay. What I was doing was cross-listing some things from Etsy to Poshmark, from Poshmark to Mercari, things like that. And then I was like, you know what? Let me give eBay a chance. I had 100 free listings or 200 free listings without fees. Let me do it. So in October, this was after a couple weeks, I really thought about it. I started listing some items and I was like, maybe by the time I hit 100 listings, I'll start making some sales. Just before I hit 50 listings, I started making sales. My first sale was November 4th. Fast forward to December 27th, which is today, a Sunday, the last Sunday of 2020. I have made 32 sales and I've made $1,049.46 at an average of $33 an item. So that's why I'm going to continue with eBay. Now, going into 2021, my goal is to make 1,000 or more a month. It took me 44 days to reach this 1,049.46. But that was with me kind of playing around, experimenting, wanting to put items that I know are going to make money. 33 items at $33 an item is really good. So going forward, I want to put items that I know are going to bring the best return. Now, don't get me wrong. I am going to put some items because I have like stuffed animals and I have different things that I know if they're lightweight to ship, I'll accept a $10 offer or something like that, because sometimes your sales, just like on any platform, you want some momentum, you want some movement, you want some activity, and that's going to push you up into the algorithm. Okay. And the final thing that I will say is eBay introduced managed payments, which for people who are used to having their money go directly into PayPal, that is not happening anymore. You're slowly going to get an email asking you if you want to switch to managed payments. 3 weeks in, I got an email. I was like, sure, why not? I've even bought a store now. Why not? Because I'm making sales and I'm making the money. What I do like about the managed payments is all the fees come out. That's the cool thing. You don't have to worry about a monthly bill now. All the fees come out. That, once you do your shipping and all that stuff, the 35 cents listing fee or whatever kind of fees that eBay has charged in the past come out ahead of time. And then the money that goes into your bank account, it goes into your bank account, whatever account you leak to your eBay account, it is yours. It's all your money. So if you're used to PayPal, then you're not going to get that anymore. What I will say is you have to pay for your shipping up front. I keep money in PayPal. I have money from businesses that go into PayPal. So I use that money for my shipping because I've already shipped on my own from Mercari. So I'm used to that money being in there and being taken away. So if you do get an if you do get an email asking you to switch to managed payments, read the email, do some research, but I will say it's a game changer, especially for a person who is not new to eBay. I am back to eBay. They're making changes slowly. Okay, it's still for the benefit of eBay, but if you can look at it from a great perspective that you can grow your business, definitely take all the advantages that you can for eBay.